Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to Subramaniam ji for inviting me here. Mr. Ravi ji was very nice to talk to Mr. Shailendra Bhai to extend this invitation, and Mr. Anand Bhai and all the organizers here. Now, before we speak about self-inquiry or abidance in the real, it's very important to know what is awareness. What is awareness? Awareness is directing your attention to something to get knowledge of it. That is awareness. For example, if I were to tell you in this moment, become aware of your breath. Just let's try this. Just become aware of your breath. You can feel the breath moving, inhaling, exhaling through your nostrils. As you inhale, you can feel the breath move in, and as you exhale, you can feel the breath move out of your nostrils. You can feel the contact the breath makes to the tip of your nose, and you can also feel it when it moves out. You also become aware that your belly expands when you inhale and it contracts when you exhale. Now, the point to be noted here is, before I asked you all to become aware of your breath, you were breathing or not? Yes? Correct? Let's make it interactive. Yeah?
Yes.
We were breathing. But there is a difference. Did you notice that you could feel a sense of serenity being in the present? You were brought in your present moment through your breath. Just by breathing and become aware of your breathing, something that was unconsciously happening, you introduced awareness to the process. This is very important. You bringing awareness to anything reveals something about it. Awareness reveals the nature of the object upon which awareness goes. So the nature of breath is stillness, serenity. It has the capacity to still your thoughts for some time. This is how the yogis came to know about the knowledge of the breath, the truth of the breath. The yogis, when they focused or paid attention to the breath, realized that they could increase the length of the breath. They could make their exhalation deeper. They could increase at will and even exhale at will. And a time came where they could even stop the breath. Kevali kumbhak. A kumbhak, a stoppage of breath happening effortlessly. That gap, that pause, stilled their mind completely and totally, making them realize what it is, the awareness of who of things are through breath. That's the yoga. Now, the breath is, I am watching the breath, correct? I watch the breath, I put my awareness into my breath, And we come to know about the nature of breath. Right? Agreed? Now, same thing, if we turn our attention 180 degrees from the breath towards the one who was breathing. So, I am breathing, I am watching the breath. Now, I turn my attention 180 degrees from the breath towards this. Where do I reach? What do I find? What is it? Come on. My awareness to self becomes self-awareness. You see? Simple. The breath is external to the eye. The breath is external to the eye. Who was breathing? If you ask this question, who was breathing? Your attention will go to this body. Correct? Now, to whom is the body? You will go more deeper. See what awareness is doing here. From something that is external, it is now coming more and more deeper and internal. Am I right or wrong? Can you feel that? No. Can you really feel it? You can pour your attention to awareness to the breath. From the awareness of the breath, turn 180 degrees inwards and you reach to this state of I. This is self-awareness. Now, what is the blessing of awareness? What is the gift of awareness? What did I say? Awareness reveals the nature of anything upon what it focuses on. Correct or not? Like how breath gave you the gift of breathing to bring you into this present moment. It gives you the gift of being able to still your mind. Similarly, when the awareness moves to the I-ness, to the self, it gives you Atma Jnana. You come to know about Aham Spurna, the I. It is so simple. That's why Bhagavan says every time, Maharishi says that, ask this question. If you are agitated about anything, to whom is this agitation happening? To me. Who is this me? You come back to this I. See, repeatedly coming back to this I brings awareness to this I. Self-awareness. So far everything clear? Right? Now, so one point that we are taking from here is, wherever we put our attention, wherever we put our awareness to, that particular thing or object, subject reveals to you its nature automatically. This is the point of self-awareness. So, Bhagavan advises, withdraw your attention away from everything else that is happening around you and move it effortlessly, slowly, gently, gentle process, gentle, not forceful, gentle. Just come back to this I lovingly, just like a child would come lovingly to his mother, to his parent. Same way, come back to this I. What is so difficult about it? If you can do this repeatedly, the I will reveal itself to you as Sat Chit Ananda. But something that is so simple is often very difficult. That is why we need self-inquiry. Self-awareness is the truth. Being aware of self is the truth. The highest of all truth. But it requires a process. Because our mind does not remain in self-awareness. It drifts into some thought, some fear, some desires. And so the process is to keep withdrawing attention from that and come back to the I-ness. This is the process of self-inquiry. So the process is to bring your attention, withdraw the attention gently and come back to this process to the I, so that once we are matured in the awareness, it falls back and remains in I. Now, no matter what we say, not all minds are matured enough, are pure enough to do this. We have to be very honest when we are doing inquiry. We cannot fool ourselves. Because the more we will delude ourselves into thinking that this is what it should be, but it is not. So one must be very authentic and honest. Is it really happening in your life? That we are forever be able to maintain uninterruptedly the attention and awareness to ourself, the I. And if you answer that question very honestly, you will see that it is not happening. It is not happening. There are moments where we can come back to this, we can bring our awareness to this background witnesser. Background why I say? Because foreground everything is going on. Thoughts are going on, sensations are going on, fear is going on, stories are going on, drama is going on. Everywhere, life is going on that way. How many of us have the ability, honestly, to go and follow the advice of Bhagavan, literally follow it, and come back to this I again and again, repeatedly? Because if we can do this, 100% what Bhagavan says will happen. The I will not feel the urge to go and move into the objects or into a thought. It will not believe it. It will not. It will know the truth. 100%. But like I said, the mind is, our minds are constantly in some kind of influence of the world today. Look at how much stimulations we get from the world today. It is natural that we will get swayed, will drift into something or the other, At that moment of time, what should we? Can we continue to do inquiry even then? Yes, 100%. Same rule applies. We put our awareness to where the mind or the I is going. Put your awareness there. Somebody came to me, many people come, and someone told to me the other day in satsang, he said, Rajiv ji, I am to hopeless case because my mind is always in senses, sensual. I enjoy sensual things a lot. I'm feeling very guilty. Bhagavan says, do this, I read his books, and I feel very guilty. I said, why are you feeling guilty? It's very good. If you cannot become a yogi, you cannot become a jnani, be a bhogi. Be the biggest bhogi in the world. He said, what? I should become bhogi? I said, yes. Why you are saying that? Because what will awareness do? It will reveal to you the nature of where your attention is going, awareness is going. So when your awareness is going to bhoga, to an enjoyment, to an object, it will reveal to you it is not what you are seeking. You will find no happiness, fulfillment, enjoyment, happiness there. It will be very transitory. In fact, that will give you pain in life. But you must do that very consciously. You must do that. Whatever enjoyments you are doing, be completely immersed in that. Rule is same. Whether it is for a yogi, whether it is for a jnani, or whether it is for a bhogi. Someone says, I get very angry. Be more angry. As much anger you can be at that moment. Just become aware of anger. Anger is arising to me. I want to go fully into the anger. Don't have conflict. Oh, I should not have anger. You are having anger. It is already here. So why you can't become aware of it? The thing is, awareness is the recipe for everything in life. It will tell you where you will find completion and where you are not going to find completion. If your awareness is in the I, aham, spurna, in the I, that I that is arising, and from there, when you are aware of it, you will see that you are fully complete and happy, and you don't need anything else once you are in this I. Nothing. You don't need breathing also. You don't need any pranayam also. You don't need any mantras also. Nothing. All we have to do is to be aware of this. What is from where is this arising? Where has this arisen? This anger arisen? From where has this story arisen? From where has this thought arisen? Just become aware of it. And you'll come back to this substratum, this background I, and just simply hold and rest in this state. Rest in this state. Joyfully. Become aware and rest. Become aware, rest. Become aware, rest. If you can't do that and you are feeling bhoga, if you're feeling the need to, an urge to enjoy life, go there. Go there. No problem. Don't forcibly bring it back to the self. This is my thinking. Don't bring it, because you will then have conflict. You will be torn between two things. I should have done it. I should have enjoyed it. Why I came back to this? You will feel this. No. Go there and see what will happen. Nothing you will get by doing that. You will feel, what was the purpose of doing this? Now that's awareness. When you realize the futility, not because someone has told you this, not because the Gyanis are telling you this, that look, there is no great happiness in sensual pleasures. Not because of that, but because of your own inner light of awareness, self-awareness. Something which I am holding within myself is more greater, more profound than my indulgence in sense organs. Not that we will deny it, we can go into it. That's not the point. It is our seeking completion in it. It is our seeking fulfillment in them. That is to be questioned. Where is our real fulfillment? Where is our real joy? Where is our real happiness? And that you will come, for everything, you will always come back to this I. So you will not waste your time in moving into sensual activities or thoughts or dramas that we all go through in our life. You'll finish off first whatever has to be done and come back and abide in yourself. A time will come, the urge, I will not have the urge only to go outwards into the external world. Alright, so let's close our eyes. Okay, beautiful. Now just first relax yourself. Now I will begin this meditation with first being aware of the breath. Just watch, observe the inflowing breath and the outgoing breath. Just observe that. Don't try to manipulate the breath in any way. Simply natural flow of breath. Now notice that your belly, your stomach expands when you inhale and contracts when you exhale. Also become aware of how your body feels in the moment. Become aware of the various sensations within the body. Maybe in some place within the body you're feeling some tension there, some ache, some pain. Do nothing about it, just become aware that it is there. Also become aware of the thoughts that from time to time are coming, trying to disrupt your awareness. Just become aware of it again. Your intention is not to still the thought. That will automatically become still the moment you are bringing your awareness to it. So you as a witnesser, as an observer, is observing the breath, is observing the sensations in the body, is also observing the thoughts. Now switch the attention 180 degrees backwards. Who is the observer? Locate that sense of witnesser. Who is observing the thought? Who is observing the breath? And you come to a place of stillness, void, nothingness, zeroness, blankness. You can see the blankness within you, the dark void. Inquire deeper. Who is also experiencing this void, this blankness? And you will find yourself located in the area of your chest, around that area. Pay attention to that. Awareness of the eyes arising from the area of the chest. It's not a physical place, but it seems to arise. It appears to arise from there. Now try to have a relationship with that eye that appears to be in this area. for your mind to effortlessly come and abide in the sense of I, you got to love it more than anything else. The mind gets distracted to other objects because it gets interested in other things. But when it begins to love itself, when awareness begins to love itself, now there is no fear, because you know that it will come back to itself, because there is love there, because there is real love there. Here. Now that inquiry does not become a practice, it becomes abidance. The practice was needed so long you were distracted. But once you have met your beloved, the I, your real lover, which you had thought were the senses and the objects, now nothing can turn your attention away from yourself. It will immerse in it and stay there, even though you may appear to be conducting things outside. And this beautiful love affair with your own self will liberate you. It will liberate you from all limitations that you feel keeps you bondage or binds you. It will transcend all states of mind and all states of your existence and all the three bodies. Gross body, subtle body, astral body, and causal body. This substratum is you, the I, the self, which knows no fear, no anxiety, no anxiousness, nothing. It simply knows how to exist as truth itself, the light of all light. Now you can slowly open your eyes and you can rub your palms together and place them on your face. Now see this space that you feel here, Bhagwan's space, and this space within you, Bhagwan's space. Everything is Bhagwan. Like that we have to live our life. Anywhere we go, Bhagwan is there with us. Devotionally also, as Jnani also. Both, in Bhakti and Jnana, both Bhagwan is there. Bhagwan is not just in Jnana, Bhagwan is not just in Bhakti. Both, in every aspect. That's why Bhagwan said, Jnana and Bhakti are same. Huh? So the point is that what is your interest? Is your interest is in changing the dream or no?
Yeah, changing as a wish.
As you wish, you want to do that, right? Then you should not believe that it is predetermined. Then you must not believe that it is predetermined. You can change what you want to change. If you have a life which you feel needs to change for something better, I'm assuming it is for better, right? Everybody wants to assume for the better. Change it. The dream is just a dream. It doesn't matter what it is. The content does not matter. Who is the experiencer matters. If your awareness is on the experiencer, the jiva, the self itself, then it does not matter what the dream contents are. You can change it as you want, because it does not matter. Whatever you will change anyway will not give you completion. My abidance is complete in the I, not in the dream. So if the dream happens as you want, great. Doesn't happen as you want and you feel it is predestined, fine. Correct? Your attention should be where? That is important. If entire attention is in dream only, oh, I must change, I must manifest the life that I want, I must have more of this, more of that. Now, isn't that not an illusion? Okay, so but I'm looking at the motivation of the question of the questioner more than the answer. Because no matter what answer I give, that answer should in any way serve your purpose. Right? Otherwise, what is the point of questioning? Many questions that people put to Bhagavan were out of a curious mind. Is there karma? Is there life after birth? Life after death? If there is everything predestined? And he may have asked that, answered according to him, whatever. But it was, he knew it. That's why he was silent most of the time. Because so many questions don't really matter to us. How does it matter if it is predestined or not? What matters is what is the quality of your life you are leading now. That is where our focus should be. I go home, I fight all the time, and I say everything is predestined. Because Bhagavan said. So if I am hitting you, Bhagavan said, no, it's predestined, you need to deserve a slap. What if you get slapped back? Now, was it also predestined? It may be predestined, it may not be predestined. What matters is that you got a slap. So, that is what you have to prevent. Many people say, but we have to still the mind, we have to still the thoughts. Problem is not with the mind. No? Somebody will say, there is a driver, he was driving the car and he met with an accident. Whose problem was that? Was the problem with the car or with the driver? So mind is only an instrument. Car is only an instrument. Who was driving the car? That is important. You could drive the car slowly only. I must still my thought, I must still my thought. Well, you can still your car, but if the driver is mad, what will happen? It will crash to anybody. So the point is, who is this I? Who is driving the mind? So the I is the one that we need to focus at all times, for whatever reason. Forget the mind. Forget what feelings are happening. Come back to this I, it will self-correct everything. Observing the observer and then falling back into it and relaxing into it. Very well pointed. Observe the observer but 180 degree backwards and then fall into it, relax into it. That's the key. Just let that happen. Now, the mind will go again. Not that it will not go. The mind will still go into a story, into a thought, into an emotion, into a feeling. Let it go, don't stop it. Just ask this question, as Bhagwan said, two ways you can do it. One, ask to whom it is happening. As Bhagwan says, come back to this I again. You will come back to the observer again. Now you rest there. That's the first way. Second way is don't go to the observer also. Let it go to the object. Now inquire about the object. Become aware of that, where it is going. And you will see that it is seeking something. Now, inquire whether that seeking is really, will that seeking that you are doing will complete you or not. Just as you bring your awareness to that, the awareness will tell you it is not going to give you what you are seeking. That emotional happiness, the joy that you are seeking is not there, it's here. You come back to this center again, your real center again. So two ways you can do it, self-inquiry.
Thank you very much.
So, like I said, with jnana, bhakti automatically happens, right? Like again, bhakti, like jnana, it's like you cannot force bhakti. Like, oh, you must have love for Bhagwan. No, it's when Bhagwan's teachings become entirety of your existence. More than Bhagwan teaching, become a bhakta of Bhagwan's teachings. That is what I will say that one must become. Once you become Bhagwan, the devotee of Bhagwan's teachings, then only you can become a real devotee of Bhagwan. Otherwise not. Because there we have so many deities, gods that are there. You don't place Bhagwan as one of the deities and gods. No. See the difference now. You yourself said no. See that what I am saying? This proves your awareness just revealed to you what I was trying to say. Single focus. Why single focus on Bhagwan? Not because it's a form. Bhagwan is in Bhagwan's teachings, coming to the self. The direct way. Every other modality, every other teaching, you take any path. I'm not minimizing it. Even Kriya Yoga I did for 15 years. But I will tell you the limitations of Kriya Yoga. It cannot deliver what Bhagwan has delivered. Never. Such a simple way, direct way, which Bhagwan has given, no teaching in this world can give. That much conviction you must have. And Bhagwan will never let you down if you have that. Trust me. Do not get distracted by any other. See what happens with people, no? Little bit they do here, then they go there. Then a new guru has come, he is giving this teaching, you breathing there, someone is giving some mantra. No, don't do that. Bhagwan's books, Bhagwan's teaching is so direct, so beautiful in itself. It is complete. Just him. That is the real meaning of being devoted to Bhagwan. Yes. Can everybody breathe? It is that much, that way. It looks complicated. It feels like that. People have told you this, jnana, self-inquiry, very difficult, very difficult. You do simple thing, sit here, I will teach you a mantra. Just do the mantra. Who is doing the mantra? One day even mantra will drop. Come to the I. Correct or no? The I is there first, then mantra is there. Yes or no? The I is there first, then gods are there. Different gods are there. Why? Who is before everything else? Who's the primary thing before everything? I. That's all. Everybody can do it. I do not. You give me a 5-year-old child. 5-year-old child. He can do inquiry. Maybe better than everybody else can do. Because we have collected so much, so many things in our life. From here also, knowledge from there also. Shankaracharya said this and he said this and that Swamiji and that Guruji said this and this. We have accumulated in ours. It is such a simple thing. A child, 6-year-old child will know that there exists an I. I was the other day with a small child, 7-year-old. I asked him, where is I? And he pointed out here. Now, if you can point out and he can point out here, how much time does it go for you to turn your attention here? Tell me one thing. No, but Maya creates such illusion to us that we get distracted into some things, other things. No, come to Bhagwan. Bas. That is simple. One has to be very practical in life. Practically, self-inquiry needs guidance. You can say this: do I need guidance in self-inquiry? I would say yes. But you ask me the question, can anybody do self-inquiry? So I'm saying yes, anybody can do self-inquiry, but you may need guidance. Now, for example, simple thing you are saying, you read somewhere that every time the mind goes into a thought, bring it back. Now, every time it is not possible. Sometimes you have to focus on certain work to be done. I am doing a work, I am doing a job. I have to focus on that job. That time I can finish off my work, finish that work and then come back to my inquiry again. The point here when he is saying come back to the self, it means to remind you that completion is not there. Completion is here. That highest joy is not there. Highest joy is here. It does not mean mentally coming back again and again. See the difference. It is about reminding yourself that look, what I am seeking there, I am not going to get that ever. Now I can do my job. What is the conflict now? My loyalty is towards self. My body, my prakriti, my mind, my faculties are performing their job. They are not you. See the difference? That's where you need guidance. I will not tell people that when you are engaged in a very important work, that you bring yourself to inquiry. Inquiry happens all the time, meaning it means that my loyalty is towards the self. My inner, my real authentic self is the self. It does not mean that I have to prove I must bring it back to the self again and I am not interested in the world. Arey, you be interested in the world. What is the problem? Be. But I am not more interested in the world than I am with myself. Now that is what is important. Because I know the limitations, the dosha of the world. I know the limitations of my senses. They will be there for some time. After that, they will start to dwindle. Even my body that I feel, that I nurture at all times, I give it bhog. At the age of 70, 65, 70, 75, 80, it will start to give me pains and aches and visits to doctors. Right? So, who is deceiving you? They will deceive you. Knowing that the world is a deceiver, the objects are deceiver, I can engage with them knowing that they are deceivers. Now that is inquiry. But if I start to become very, loyal to them, and I say, no, they are very much good, all my happiness is in this, now there is you have left inquiry. Real shunyata means my identification with thoughts have broken. Thoughts could be there, but I am not carried away by thoughts. That is the real meaning of shunyata. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand? I could have a fearful thought, like what is going to happen tomorrow to me at my old age, let's say. Right? I could have that. That's a very genuine thought concern that I could have. Since if I age to 70, 80, I start wondering what is going to happen. Am I going to have a diseased body, illness body? How bad is going to be my health? Who's going to take care of me? These are all called thoughts. Now, you could induce a shunyata state through various ways and you can remain thoughtless for some time, which he called it as laya, mano laya. Shunyata is mano laya. For some time you are able to induce a state of thoughtlessness. But mano nasa is what he said, which means your identification with the thought. A thought comes like this, what is going to happen to your age? And suddenly awareness comes and says, what nonsense? How can you think like this about your age? You are ageless. Who said this? This is your manonasa. Now you are no more going into fear because you realize the truth that the awareness precedes everything. You have such faith in awareness itself that you will be taken care of. That is called manonasa. Now the thought has no, even the thought will be there, what is going to happen to your age, at age, how much you are going to suffer at old age. Even there, that doesn't have any stream. It has no power to hold you to make you agitated and restless or sleepless for the night. Now that is real sunyata. Correct? No? What is the point of having a small temporary laya, like we can do it with suspension of breath? In Kriya Yoga, we did it a lot of times. Suspend the breath for some time, sunyata. The moment you come out of it, again you start worrying about that. What's the point of such sunyata? All these things about prarabdha, kriyaman and all those karma theories are pertaining to whom? Pertaining to the false illusory nature of ego itself. Realize yourself not as the ego, not as ahankara, but as self. Now, does that pertain to you? The prarabdha doesn't pertain to you. It does not apply to the person who is on the path of inquiry, because he realizes that his reality is not the ego itself. It is the ego, the aham vritti, the thought, the I thought that is born again and again, not the real self. If the self is not even born, is unborn, it cannot die. If it cannot die, then where is the question of reincarnation? And if there is no reincarnation, where is the question of prarabdha? So suffering on the mental, physical plane, suffering is possible, it can happen because of the way of Prakriti itself. The elements are suffering, the body is suffering. Bhagavan also had a problem with the health, no? He had cancer, no? Now it does not mean that he was not suffering in the physicality. He may be suffering in the physicality, but inner self is not at all bothered by that. He was not bothered by that. It was the body that may have been having some suffering, but he did not have mental problem, he did not have mental suffering, none, because he realized the truth of it. Come back to the truth, come to the truth again and realize that this physicality is happening to the 5 elements, not to me. So entire thing about your karma, your prarabdha, your questions about what is happening to the body, these are all theories to divert you from the real thing. Do not get diverted by that. Like Bhagavan says, again, he is very much focused. He says, who is the one suffering? To whom is this happening? Why he is saying this? In your dream, prarabdha must be happening. Now, in my dream, 3 days back or 4 days, you all must have experienced that you are falling from a cliff or a dog is biting you. Now, would you say that is prarabdha? That on my dream, a dog bit me, and you wake up and you even check your leg. Oh, the dog bit me in the leg, and then you realize, oh, wow, thank God, it was only a dream. You don't put it as a prarabdha, na? No, what do you say? I woke up from that and I realized it was only a dream. Same thing. You wake up from the dream here and you realize this is all a dream. Even your prarabdha are all stories that are given to you. They are not having any reality of any kind. I will say it. My experience only I am sharing. So, because I believe that this is all happening in a dream only.
Thank you very much, sir.
Through the grace of Bhagavan only I feel I can answer. Who is going to the Vasana? I is going to the Vasana. Why it is going to the Vasana? Because of sense of completion or fulfillment that it derives. Now go back to history and find out, has it ever happened that your Vasanas have completed you in your life? Any of the Vasanas have ever give you any kind of fulfillment or happiness? Maybe temporarily they may have given you some satisfaction or some pleasure. But later on what happened? Those objects fail you in your completion. They fail you for that. So what can then, now when it comes to Vasana, if they are not going to give you, deliver you that, why do you want to give so much importance to it? If you want to fulfill a vasana, go ahead and fulfill it. I am not telling you go to the self. Go and fulfill it if you want. But know that you will get nothing out of it. Now, once you know that you are going to get nothing out of it, you will automatically moderate your vasana. It automatically happen. Because something bigger is there that you never want to compromise. Your vasana should not superimpose or compromise on the self. It never does actually. But we feel they do. Because it agitates us. It makes us restless. Is it worth it? If it is not worth it, then I will engage in that vasana which is moderated. Okay, I'll take something. That intelligence will come automatically. There is no accurate answer to give you. No, you must not have any vasana. If I give you, well, vasana is not good to have. What's the point? Anyway, you're dwelling on it in the mind. Go for it and check it yourself. Inquiry is this only. Inquiry means I must go, the eye goes here, the eye goes there, and wherever the eye goes, it never finds any happiness anywhere. It always has to come back to its real true center. Now, if it has to come back to your true center, why delay it? Complete your vasana and come back immediately. Simple, practical way. So, vasana is not a big problem. We have made it a big problem. Oh, vasana. Vasana is what? Vasana is just an eye going into a thought to complete itself. Now, I know by experience, you know by experience, everybody know by experience, what vasana has never ever given you that happiness and that fulfillment in your life. Knowing that knowledge, do it. It will have no effect on you, your abidance. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Ji. Thank you very much.